Greetings, people. Welcome to the latest episode of Rough Draft. I am your host, Roberto Sabio, and in this episode, we'll be talking about my author's journey. Thank you for tuning into this latest episode of Rough Draft. We are now in the month of May, and in the month of May, you have certain housekeeping that I need to talk about. So on May 17th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you have the East Coast Black Age of Comics Convention. It is a Black Comic Con. It is part of the Black Age of Comics movement. So you get to see panel discussions, you have cosplay, you get to see the vendors, you get to see all the different artists, you get to see all the different people that are out there. It's been a number of years since I personally attended ECBOT, but definitely if you go out there and you attend it, you will enjoy it. Also on May 19th, you have the birthday of the esteemed ancestor Haj Malik El Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X. So, birthday blessings to the great ancestor. And thank you for all your contributions to us. Also, May 25th, you have African Liberation Day. So, shout out to all my Pan Africanist people out there. Shout out to my brothers and sisters on the continent. Salute the continua. Let's continue to free the continent and fight for her freedom. Also in May, I have my publishing anniversary. So, celebrating the publishing anniversary of Seductra, Web of Desire. This book was published in 2017 through CreateSpace. I feel it's one of my more slept on projects. Of course, I feel all my projects are slept on, but I think it's a very good story. Please go out and support it when you get the opportunity. And also, Second Chance Points. This was actually published in 2022, so it's now turning 3 years old. So, thank you so much. Hopefully, you guys will go out and help to support it, especially in this day and age where we're talking about supporting women in their sports. So now I want to talk about the subject matter at hand, which is my author's journey. So for those of you who do not know, especially because the rough draft I did not start doing it until 2019, the period of 2014 and 2017, I was actually working as a full-time author. So I tried to work on my writing career full-time from the point of 2014 to 2017. Um, there were a lot of factors that led into it because I was just burning a lot of energy on multiple ends. I was working a full-time job. I was also working as a full-time activist, part of a local organization. I was actually part of a local branch of the UNIA. I was actually an officer in the organization, so I took a lot of responsibilities. I was actually the interim president of that particular division in Baltimore, where I was living at the time. And I was also celebrating the release of my third book in my lifetime. And so I was just thinking that I was spending a lot of time, you see, dealing with my day job, dealing with my activism, and not enough time really focusing on my writing career. Because especially at that time, I dropped my third book. I dropped out my third book that March, actually, of 2014. And I didn't feel like I was actually really able to promote it the way that I wanted to because I just did not have the friggin' time. And also, I was just getting very tired of living in Baltimore at the time. I felt like I kind of plateaued, not just as a writer, but also as an activist. And so, a lot of it for me was a lot of what I was trying to do as a writer at that time. I thought, like, I'm not getting a lot of love here in Baltimore. I might as well move on. Because at that point, I had lived in Baltimore for about 4 years. Because I moved out there in 2010, shortly after I published my first book. And when I published my first book, Raise Your Brown Black Fist, that was I was living in Richmond, Virginia at the time. So 2014, it just got to a point where I was very tired of like being involved in activism with my organization, doing what I was doing with the Universal Africana Literary Arts Movement, and also just with my day job and just not focusing enough time on my own writing career. And I'm not getting any love locally when I was living in Baltimore. I'm just like, I'm getting more love from people who live in DC, you know what I'm saying, which is a half hour, 45 minutes away than I am from people who are actually here in the fucking city that I'm living in. Like, why the hell am I still bothering to be here? But doing my research, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, um, DC was just very expensive. It was kind of like, well, if I'm gonna live someplace that's expensive, I might as well just go back home because at least over there I know the territory. Whereas instead of like moving straight to DC and I have to start all
It's like,
over
well,
again,
I
I got
got
money
money.
saved up. If I go back home to New York, it'll be easier for me because I could go back home, with my parents, you know what I'm saying, and basically just hit the ground running as far as my writing career is concerned, and actually just focus mainly on that. So, from 2014 to 2017, yeah, I was focusing primarily only on my writing career, and it was the best experience that I had in my career at that point, and it's also the worst experience I'd ever had at that point in my career. So, the good that I liked about it was the fact that I had absolute freedom. I didn't have to worry about dividing my time between a day job and activism and doing this and some other shit. I can just focus mainly on writing. You know what I'm saying? Writing, doing research, doing outreach, you know what I'm saying? Just doing promotional stuff, promote my books and my career and whatever upcoming projects I had. You know what I'm saying? Whatever in-person appearances I wanted to do, whether it was festivals or setting up my own stuff, had absolute freedom. I mean, if I just wanted to take a day to chill out and just sit on my ass and veg the fuck out, I could do that too. I was punching my own clock. I didn't have to worry about anybody else or worried about going to a job or doing any other of that stupid ass bullshit. The downside of that was just basically a lot of people just did not support me. And when this is your livelihood and you're doing what you need to do, or you're trying to do everything that you need to do in order to make a living at this, it was very hard because I'm coming out of pocket and I'm not recouping anything that I'm coming out of pocket for. I'm doing these in-person events and niggas ain't showing up to none of my fucking events. You're saying whether they're events that I organize or if I'm vending at some sort of event or festival, people ain't coming out to support me. I really learned a lot about people and how fake they can be because they will talk a whole lot of bullshit on the internet and talk about how much they support you. But then when you're making yourself available and you're making your product available and you're letting people know, hey, this exists, this is out, please come out and support it, and then they don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my bank account and it's getting lower and lower and lower and lower. I mean, literally, I went broke for real. Like I was even briefly homeless. Like it was really like that. Like I said, the positive was just the absolute freedom that I had. During that time, I published at least 4 books, and I put my books in ebook format. Um, And then the bad part, like I said, is like I went broke. I went flat broke. I ended up having like a lot of health issues and I could not pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I was actually in the hospital a number of times because of my poor health, because I was struggling so hard trying to trying to do my writing career full time, and nobody would support me when I was doing that. I'm just like, damn, you know, I'm actually going out there showing my face and supporting my so-called friends and peers with the shit that they're fucking doing. And then when I'm organizing my own events, niggas can't come through and support me. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy shit online or buy shit from me when I'm doing an in-person appearance. I fuck all y'all. You know what I'm saying? That was really hard. You know what I'm saying? Because during that time, like I said, I was able to publish 4 books. Um, I know what you're probably thinking. Well, 2014 to 2017, shouldn't that add up to like 6 books? Not really, because like I was saying in the beginning, in 2014, I had dropped In My Lifetime, but that was before I left Baltimore to go back home, so I was still employed, you know what I'm saying, and not working on that full time in 2014 because I dropped In My Lifetime in March. I did not move back to New York full time until May. And in 2017, yes, as I was saying, that's when Seductress was published. By February of 2017, I moved out of New York. I was living in Delaware at the time. I was homeless. I was looking for work, but I wasn't solely focusing on my writing career. I was trying to find a fucking job and a place to live. So even though, yes, I published Seductra in 2017. It was after I left New York and I was like not really focusing on a writing career at the time. Brother was trying to eat. He said, I was trying to get back on my feet. I was like, I'm not trying to be homeless, living in this private homeless shelter, dealing with these fucking people and the fucking church that's attached to. Fuck that shit. You know what? Honestly, it was a tough period in my life, but I do not regret it. I don't regret it. Like I said, I was able to experience absolute freedom. And I would never give that up. I want to actually get back to that where I'm focusing primarily on my writing career, focusing on writing, focusing on just promoting my work, focusing on just doing in-person appearances and meeting fans and trying to get new fans and just like having my work out there and having people enjoy my storytelling and my ability to entertain people. So thank you very much for tuning into this latest episode of the Rough Draft. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a chance to learn a little bit more of me. If you would like a copy of any of my books, they are available in paperback format. You could reach out. You can gain access to my books through Off the House, Outskirts Press, Create Space, Amazon.com, Barnes and Nobles, and Books a Million. My books are also available in ebook format. So if you want to be able to digitally download them, you could gain access to my books through Kindle, Nook, Kobo, Apple Books, Everand, Smashwords, Fable, and internationally through Viblio, Tolino, and Gardeners. My books are also available in ebook format for libraries. So hopefully your library has an account with one of these channels, which is Overdrive, Hoopla, Baker and Taylor, Cloud Library, Palace Market, Pallets Marketplace, Odillo, and BowerBox internationally for the UK and Australia. Um, if you are watching this on Vimeo or YouTube, you know what you need to do. Please like the video. Definitely leave a comment. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Uh, Share it with your peoples and definitely press the notification button. That way, you know the next time I add a new video or if I say something in the community section. Um, Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. Thank you very much for tuning into this latest episode of the Rough Draft. You know how I like to end this. Keep the fist raised. I'm always on my literary grind, and I'll see you people soon in the next episode. Thank you very much and have a good one. Peace.